Okay. Going to the page.
So it's still setting up.
Okay. I'm just making sure I'm there so I could click on it. Is it my meeting? Yeah.
Now it just came up.
I see us. We're here.
So it's still setting up.
We on.
Okay. I'm not sure. I don't know how it does.
We are. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to click on the live now. And public. Yeah. Okay, is it on now?
We got people in. Grand Rising. Hello, people coming in.
All right, Rashonda Lee. Hello.
Moon Goddess.
Moon Goddess, Grand Rising. We're just getting set up, guys. So we got this new thing going on. Y'all see my daughter on here as well. So we're trying to get this going right. So if we have some flubs, please forgive us. Or forgive me, I'm the one running it here. So
yeah, I'm just a sidekick.
Right. That's all good. Amber, how's it going? So Amber's in the class.
Hey, Amber.
Good to see you, Amber. Good to see you. Stephen, hello, Stephen.
Welcome.
And we got a little bit of a delay here too, guys, about 20 seconds or so. So if y'all do something and we respond kind of late, it's about a 20-second delay. Crystal, how are you? New to the channel, we're glad to have you here, Crystal B. And who is that? Shamel Bates, hello. Moon Goddess, I see you. Well, I appreciate that, Moon Goddess, I really do. I'm glad you enjoy the channel. All right, Amber, hello, family. Martha, how's it going? Martha's in the class too, so good to see you, good morning.
Welcome, everyone.
I'm glad to see my family's here. Let's see, was that Cleo Lee? Dr. Dredd, what's up?
Josh, hey Josh, that's my guy.
Rashonda, you in the class as well? Okay, Rashonda, hey, it'll be there for you. So when you're ready to roll, it'll be there. Joshua, how's it going? Joshua's he's in the class as well.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Josh been a ride or die from the beginning.
Yes, sir. The W Battle 77 says, I'm learning a lot watching your channel. Hey, I appreciate it. Put a lot into it. Glad to have you here, Martha. Glad to have you here.
Martha, welcome back. I remember Martha from the last live.
Yeah, she's in the class.
Oh, so she's in the class? Right.
Yeah, she's in the class now. So she's part of that KCL family,
right.
The inside circle.
Love to have you.
Let's see, it said, and Moon Goddess says, sister, your spirit is shining so bright.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. We'll be getting going here in just a bit, guys. So we're just firing everything up, trying to make sure we got it working right and got it going. So glad to have all you guys here, most definitely.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So Martha, you've been going through the class and through one of the courses. So Martha's been handling, she's been going at it like, wow.
Has she?
So Dr. Dredd, the class is African Mind Rewired. So it's actually taking the Kemetic knowledge and it's taking it to the next. It's not just repeating stuff, it's actually giving you practical life application of this knowledge. So make you bigger, better, and stronger, brother. Let's see, and Rashonda Lee was an Israelite for about 5 years and understand that it's a religion too. Yes, all of that is. So Rashonda said she was an Israelite. Yeah, there's another Zach in our class. He was an Israelite as well. David, good morning. David's also in the class. And Valerie, hello, Valerie.
Hey, David. Valerie, welcome.
All right. All right. Well, it's 11 o'clock on the dot. Let's get this party started. You can go to beyondthephysical.me, Dr. Dredd, and you can sign up there. So beyondthephysical.me. So that's where you can go to sign up. And Martha says this is the best class ever, and I've done many. Yeah, Martha's been she's been going through it. So going through the class, and so she's been talking to me a lot. So I really appreciate that and getting that feedback from her. Mm-hmm. So welcome to Kemetic Centered Living. This is the African Spirituality Q A. Peace, Rich Roots, peace. I'm your host, Reginald Q A. And my moderator and sidekick is my daughter, Voche. Vo Vibes is her in the chat. Hello. So say hello to everybody, Voche.
Hey, group. Happy to be here. Usually I'm behind the scenes, but now I'm on camera, so I'll be able to answer you guys' questions a little bit faster. I can't type and keep up as fast, behind the screen. So happy to be here and be able to talk to you guys and interact with you all. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, we had to figure out how we could get her to work because she's always got some good stuff to add too. And Jason, what's going on? Jason's with family. He's in the classroom, so it's good. So Christopher B, you can go to get that information. Go to the beyondthephysical.me, www.beyondthephysical.me, and you can find out all the information you need to on that. So I'm the founder of Kemetic Centered Living, and I like to say my work is beginner-friendly African spirituality because I break it down in a simple and easy to understand way, so it will forever and consistently be Baroque. All right. So today I'm going to address the concept of the divine feminine. So in a practical application in your life. So that's what my channel and the things that I do is about. This stuff was meant to teach us and to help us to navigate through life. And Christianity, they twisted so much of it that it's made it confusing. So if you look at the Kemetic stuff, then it becomes unconfusing because it really gets down to the roots of what this stuff is about and what Christianity was supposed to be, because they get everything that Christianity is, they got it from ancient Kemet and ancient Africa. So every single bit of it. There's nothing in the Bible that did not start with ancient Kemet and the Kemetic knowledge first. Not one thing. Okay, and that's documented and proven. I do that in the videos. If y'all watch the videos, I document those things for you, so you can go and look it up. It's not me just telling you something and then you're going, oh yeah, okay, that sounds good, and that's cool because again, I document it. But if you want to go and look it up yourself, please do, and make sure that you're not in the same position you were in as a Christian where you only accepted what somebody told you and what you were supposed to believe. It's not about belief. It's about knowing, and it's about experience. So that's where I'm trying to get you to, okay? And this knowledge, again, is meant to help you. So some ground rules here is let's make sure that you're kind and courteous to each other. Make sure you're kind and courteous to my daughter and myself in the chat. This is going to be a positive experience, and that's always what I wanted. It's about high vibration. Always. So if people that want to be negative, argumentative, and all of that, you're going to get bounced. So no two ways about it, okay? If you're chatting and I give value to you today, please give in super chat. Same with Voche. If she says something of value to you guys give. That's priming the pump. If you're somebody that struggles with money, one of those things is priming the pump. You got to be able to put something out there for it to return to you. Okay, that's huge. That's huge. Okay. Also, if the chat gets to moving fast, I can't see everything. We can't see it all. So the super chat will also, you can, when you give, you can type your question in the super chat. It'll pin it to the window, and then we can see your question for sure, okay? Let's see. Let me go on.
Hey, Jason. Welcome, Jason. Jason is one of our class members. He always has some amazing questions, amazing points. I love the way this brother elaborates himself, and it's always a pleasure to learn from him and pick his mind just as much as it is, the other way around. So welcome, Jason. Happy to have you here today.
Excellent. And I've already mentioned my course. So I have a course called the Ultimate Guide to African Spirituality Before Christianity, or wait a minute, the Ultimate Guide Before Christianity, that basically breaks down Christianity and it connects the dots for you. So I do a little bit more than just giving history. It's more than just about history to me. It's about, again, uncovering the ideas that are supposed to make us better and stronger, okay? So my main course is called, it's African Spirituality Before Christianity, the Ultimate Guide. And then I have my class, which is the African Mind Rewire, which you can get information at, again, at www.beyondthephysical.me. And links later will be in the description below. And then why do I call it the African Mind Rewire? Because if you're going to change your life, you have to change your thinking. And the only way to change your thinking is to rewire your mind and your brain soul connection. And guys, if you don't think that you have not been programmed with Christianity to think negatively and to be fearful, you got another thing coming, because it's all of us have dealt with that. Okay. So my class is going to teach you how to rewire your mind so you can be more, do more, and have more. And this is what some of the students are saying about it. So it's this person was saying, I wanted to give thanks to you for sharing this information. I've been looking for this information that's been taught in this format, a Kemetic philosophy that I can use in my life now. Thanks for having the courage to teach outside the box. And that was Roderick H. And then, man, you really opened my eyes about the double slit experiment. I've watched it several times, but never understood it. Now I'll have a better chance at understanding it. There's no dollar amount that you can place on this valuable information. You are truly a blessing. Thank you. And that was Eugene. So another one of the people in the class. And another gentleman says, I like the flow of merging the lessons. My soul thanks you for obeying your Ka and creating this platform. And that was Zachariah. And oh, wow. And this is from Joshua. He's actually here in the chat right now. He says, it's the first time in such a long time that I'm reading something which makes sense. Yes, I do know the concepts already, but something radically shifted as I read through, and it makes sense on a whole new level. This truth gives so much hope. Thank you. And see, this is another one from Sherry. She says, this is the best explanation of the universal laws that I've been exposed to. I understand now why law of attraction never worked for me. And if you don't know, law of attraction is ancient African spirituality from way back, okay? And then, see, that was Sherry. And then I've read hundreds of books on self-help. None has even came close to your method of simplicity. I'm so excited about my progress in such a short time. You continue to amaze me in every lesson. Keep it up, my brother. And that was Martha. And Martha's here in the class, here in the chat as well. So the basic thing to know is that Kemetic spirituality will reverse any of that negative thinking. And by unraveling the errors of Christian teaching and giving you the original foundation of the truth. Because again, Christian teachings, they twisted so much of it. So there's a reason why the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. Now I don't throw the Bible out, because I know once you get past that exoteric teaching, and exoteric just means that it was just public stuff. You have to get down to the esoteric level, which is the secret teachings that were meant to be taught. But it gives a whole lot of it. When you understand the esoteric level, it gives you a whole nother level and information that you can use for your life. And so today I want to say, if you're on the fence about Christianity, you're searching, maintain your courage, because you are on track. And I know as a Christian, anybody that has been Christian, to search for new knowledge it's a level of fear that you have, because you've been drummed had drummed into your head that is bad to look at anything outside of the Bible. I'm going to tell you right now that's not true, okay? So it takes courage to be spiritual instead of religious, okay? And the reason is because you're experiencing from anyone else's, and you have to be confident to walk your own individual path, that it doesn't have to look like anybody else's, sound like anybody else's, none of that, okay? So let's talk about the divine feminine. And I really want to, this is something to me too that's really, really huge, okay? So the divine feminine, we think it has to do with being female, and it has nothing to do with being sex, except that the feminine aspect uses the female gender as a prop or a how can I say it uses the idea of the feminine womb to give you to connect you to what universal laws might be. Okay, so the womb, inside the womb, it's water. Okay, when a woman is pregnant, there's water. Okay, there's a baby waiting to be birthed or something waiting to be birthed. Okay, so you get nourishment from that. You get nourishment from the womb. Okay, so everything that spirit is in the beginning is the womb is what came first. Okay, on a personal level, the divine feminine is when you go within. Again, it's like you're going inside the womb. Okay. That's what the divine feminine is. So whether you are male or female, you have a divine feminine aspect. So when you're going in and meditating, you're literally tapping into the womb, okay? You're going into your divine feminine. As a man, when you have anything creative that you're doing, a man, anything creative that you're doing, you're literally tapping into the divine feminine. So don't get stuck in this idea that divine feminine is about feminine energy or female energy or something. That's not it. It's about a function. The ancients were teaching you how something functions. And when you see usually the feminine, or in symbolism, if you see curves or circles or anything like that, that's usually about feminine, okay? If you see something, straight lines, that's usually about the phallus, all right? So even the steeples on the church, those are about the phallus of the Father, okay? So those things, those ideas are right in front of us. So the divine feminine is something that, again, it's within us. It's receptive, okay? The divine masculine is active. It produces a seed that searches for the divine feminine, okay? So that the seed can be nourished and grow. All right. If you got a creative idea within you, that creative idea is then searching for that divine feminine so it can be nourished and grow and then come out into the world. And that's the divine masculine that actually punches through. Okay. So the divine feminine is not female. Male and female have a divine feminine aspect. Jung calls the anima and animus, okay? So we're talking archetypal language here where the divine feminine represents an idea that is a part of all of humanity, okay? So that's the divine feminine. So hopefully that'll give you a little bit of a better understanding of that idea. Don't get stuck in the sexist ways of thinking about a divine feminine. If you do, it won't make sense to you at all on any level. Okay, so that's it. My presentation there. So I'll look for questions here. Voche, if you see any questions that I needed to talk about here.
Love, Daddy. The love, we greatly appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Just the high praises in the comments and the appreciation for what you're doing, Dad, what we're doing, and so grateful for you all. I feel all the energy. I've just been sitting here soaking it in and just just really enjoying this. So thank y'all so much. Really loving it.
All right, all right. So Hyperlux Lifestyle Glam Mother, she's in the class. How's it going? How's it going? Deborah Rose, that's my girl there, Deborah Rose. How you doing, Deborah? Good to see you. She's in the class as well. So good to see you guys. I so love when family is here. So love it. So Martha, you said you never heard it put this way before. What do you mean? The divine feminine? So talking about the divine feminine, you never heard it put that way before? Let's see. Is it that why mosque has a dome, female breast for feeding milk? You know what, MF Dredson, he asked the question, is that why the mosque has a dome, female breast for feeding milk? You know, I had never thought of that, but that is deep. That could be very well. That could be because if you know the dome in the hieroglyphic language, there is a dome and that actually represents the divine feminine. So that's interesting. I had never thought about it that way, but you're probably right. You're probably right. Let's see, D Nice. No, you're not late, D Nice. You're right on time. You're right on time. Let's see. That's okay, Marilyn. How are you doing? Good to have you here. So Marilyn's in the class as well. All right, all right. Can I ask a spirituality question unnecessary? Yeah, you sure can, Julius. So Julius was asking, can he ask a question not necessarily related to divine feminine? So yeah, the questions are open for anything. So that's not just a divine feminine. I just like to start off with a little bit of teaching to give people some clarity. So Marilyn, thank you for the donation, Marilyn. So Marilyn gave $10 and said thank you. So I definitely appreciate that, sister. Definitely appreciate that. Let's see, what you said about the church steeple just sparked that in my mind. MF Drepson, I'm gonna tell you, when you get those sparks like that, that's spirit speaking to you, and that's some truth for you. I can guarantee you that there's some truth for you. If you go and research that, I'll bet you that you'll find something connected to that dome. It has something to do with the feminine aspect. I'll guarantee you. So, Cherie, you missed the teachings on the divine feminine. Or who is that? Cherie 626? Let's see, pregnant. Yeah, so that has to do with information that has to do with the divine feminine. So that's what I was saying. The feminine, the divine feminine is not necessarily about female, but it's about the function of, say, what's inside a pregnant woman, which is going to be water. It's going to be dark, and it births creations. So we have to be thinking symbolically with these ideas. And so that's what MF Dredson was saying, is that dome represents a feminine aspect. So y'all are both right. Y'all are both right on that. So I just, again, I hadn't studied Islam. So that's something that I didn't know, but it makes sense to me. Oh, you bet. So that's deep. I had not thought of that. That's excellent. So it's interesting that the Christian church, you never see domes on the Christian church. You know, you always see the steeples, which represents the male phallus. And if y'all watch my last video, I talked about that the Christian church literally took out the feminine aspect and just made it all male, which should never have been. Spirituality view. What's the African spirituality view on hoodoo and voodoo? It's African spirituality. So hoodoo and voodoo is African spirituality. That's where that stuff began. It was only the Catholic Church and Christians that started to outlaw that for our ancestors, especially here in the United States and the Caribbean and stuff like that. They outlawed those spiritual practices of Africans and made it devilish, made people think it was devilish. The sad part is people still think that today. They think voodoo is zombies walking around and people casting spells on individuals. That is such a bunch of crap. And it's people educating us about our own spirituality that we don't take the time to research it. So the Battle 77 gave 10. Thank you very much. I definitely appreciate that. I so appreciate it. class. And John Walker, you said you're in the class? It doesn't matter. You're not struggling with my uncomfortableness with reincarnation. Okay. John Walker says he's in the class, but he's struggling with his uncomfortableness with reincarnation. I understand. Some of these ideas will trigger you. I guarantee you they will. But John, when you're in the class, ask me questions in those areas that you are struggling with so I can answer them. So that's what part of the coaching is about. So I can answer those questions for you. If enough people ask those questions, I'll just do a video on it and just put it in the forum for you. Okay? So please ask questions. That's what you're here for. That's what I'm here for. I want to teach you and I want you to know it. So what are some practical ways to balance your feminine and masculine? So what's some principal ways to balance your feminine and masculine energy? Marilyn, you can, so just when you understand, it's not about energy necessarily, it's about function, okay? So when you are meditating and you're clearing your mind or you're visualizing, you're literally using your divine feminine aspect then, okay? When you start to produce something out in the world, say like for me, when I'm thinking up an idea, I'm using my divine feminine. When I start to type and write, then I'm using my divine masculine. So it's the active aspect. So divine feminine just means that you're just going within. So it's not necessarily about energy, okay?
Also emotions, Dad. So the divine feminine is acknowledging emotions, expressing emotions, not being afraid to be vulnerable and letting the emotions flow, because that opens the well of creativity and allows you to be a divine channel. So that's also
excellent.
Divine feminine.
Excellent point. And this is something that us guys, especially the older guys like me and a little bit older, we have a problem with connecting emotionally. Mm-hmm. A lot of us guys, we would rather go and explore outer space and planets rather than going and exploring our inner space and our emotional well-being, okay? And it's killing us. Mm-hmm. It's killing us. So Voche, that was an excellent point. Thank you.
And as an empathic woman, I can definitely say that's one of the most frustrating things is in this dating world is dating men who are not in touch with that divine feminine and are not able to express themselves or express what they're feeling or feel a constriction, or they have been wired to believe that emotions are weakness or expressing emotions are weakness. But the way that this world is moving and moving into the age of Aquarius is tipping the balance of the masculine has been, in power and has, done this thing with the world. Now we're coming into the divine feminine. So it's very essential for us as humans to tap into emotions, male or female, because as my father just said, we both have divine feminine and divine masculine within us all, because God is both halves of the whole. So Absolutely. Don't be afraid to tap into the divine feminine, guys. Please.
No, don't. They tap into it anyway. Mm-hmm. So they tap into it whether they think they do or not, because even if you like a bitter individual, what you're doing is tapping into your divine feminine to bring up memories of stuff that pisses you off. Mm-hmm. So you tap into it whether you believe it or not. You're always using it. So are you going to use it for good or are you going to use it for something negative? Mm-hmm. And I'll read my aunt. Julie, how's it going? I see you, sister. I see you. Julie's in the class as well. Good to have you here, Julie. And email addresses, I really appreciate you linking the ideas and explaining them. Hey, you bet. Because it can only help us. And the W Battle says, I grew up being told to stay away from these different African Caribbean practices because they said it was evil or the devil. Yep, the W Battle, that's right. All of us, any of us that have been Christian, we have been taught to stay away from these practices. And this is another thing I wanted to bring up too, because I'm starting to get there's a lot of white people that are starting to come and ask, can they tap into this African spirituality stuff? And I'm saying absolutely, positively, yes. I'm not one of those that say that this knowledge is not for everybody, because Christianity has touched every race, and the Abrahamic religions have touched every race on this planet. So it can help anybody. So race is like, you're part of humanity. If you got the respect and you want to learn, then come. That's all I have to say about that. So anybody can tap into this. And if people don't agree with it, then that's their deal. It's not mine. So that's how it works. Let's see.
Hold on.
Yes, Lisa, I've seen and Lisa asked questions. Go ahead, Voche.
The W Battle 77 asks, but who do you tap into it with that you can trust? And I feel like, well, actually, I read a quote today and it said, the fear of anything is the fear of feeling. And it's not, for me, expressing emotion isn't about trust. It's, if you feel it, then it's valid expression. And I feel like we fear expressing emotion because we fear that others can use it against us, or we can be manipulated, or it gives away our power if we express emotion. But it's the complete opposite. If we express ourselves, it allows us to be understood and opens that realm of being able to connect with someone more deeply. So all you have to do is trust yourself, and however that person reacts is that's on them, it's be brave enough to express.
Yes.
Dad, do you want to add to that?
No, I agree with you. And it's about really one of the biggest problems with relationships a lot of times is people don't want to be vulnerable, and because they are afraid to express themselves emotionally, and really and truly, when you're in a relationship, it's a give and take always, but you get to experience that relationship from within you. Mm-hmm. The other person is not always experiencing a relationship like you do. Mm-hmm. So when you fall in love and you feel these feelings, those feelings are for you. Mm-hmm. Okay? That person might can bring them out of you or cause you to feel something stronger or less, but all of that feeling is within you. And when you fall in love, that's for you to feel that feeling, to feel what love is like, mm-hmm. So you got to be courageous to do that. Mm-hmm. Got to be courageous.
And I feel like
I see a question here that
holds us back from that a lot, experiencing that love. But yeah.
What's that, Voche? I didn't hear it.
I was just saying that the fear of connection holds us back from experiencing the deep love that we all crave. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I mean, can you imagine? The one thing I have felt that love, okay, and I've had my heart shattered in pieces, but I would never trade the feeling that I feel, the love that I got to feel. I would never want to trade that. That is something so awesome. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's that quote, I'd rather have loved and lost than to never love at all.
Absolutely. I can definitely attest to that. I can definitely
fear of disappointment, Deborah. Great point. Yes, fear of disappointment. Once again, fear, everything you want is on the other side of fear, So it's like, what are you willing to do, to get to that other side? It's all about being brave,
Yep. And as souls, that's one of the things that we're here to overcome is those fears. Those fears are what keep us trapped in our cycles of learning, in our life cycles. Okay. So those are fears that's what we're supposed to work through to overcome. Okay. And Lisa says, I'm in the class 2 in the first month. Yes, and I've seen your questions being asked, Lisa. I sure appreciate it. And it says, what are your thoughts on divination, like reading, playing cards, and tarot? Voche, I'll let you go this. I think they're fine, Lisa. So I use tarot cards or have used them. So I have no problems with that. It is a tool to use to basically help you and help guide you. So I'm fine with them. So Voche, and I know Voche reads tarot as well.
Yes, I do offer tarot readings, and I will be linking my my site in the chat below in a little bit. But tarot is a great spiritual modality given to us to be able to connect and receive messages. And I feel like oh no.
What happened?
Am I back? Am I still on?
No, you're still on.
Oh, okay. Sorry, something had popped up. But tarot, people are afraid of it because you go to certain people and they'll predict your future. And I urge anyone to use discernment in that area because none of us are here to predict anyone's future. Tarot is used as a guidance tool to connect you to your spirit guides, your spirit team, and relay messages in order to guide you toward your purpose. At the end of the day, we all have free will and to choose the path that we want. Tarot just helps bring us clarity, a clarity of direction to allow us to know what path would be best for us in our current state of mind and our current mentality right now. So
exactly.
Tarot is nothing to fear. And people ask about, attracting negative energies, or Christianity teaches you a fear of dabbling with the other side or communicating with the dead, but it's nothing to be afraid of. Spirit is spirit. We are spirit, okay? And spirit is just without a physical body. And you attract, or you have your own energetic domain. And if you don't want certain spirits to be attracted to you, you just have to set that boundary, okay? And say that the term rebuke you, you don't have to do it in the name of Jesus. You can do it in your own name and set that boundary, and nothing can penetrate your aura that you don't welcome, okay? So there's nothing to fear. I'll leave it at that.
Absolutely. And D Nice asked, do we always come back black? No. And that's one of the things that people don't understand about reincarnation. If you're in a cycle that you have lessons to learn, you can come back as many races. Because guess what? If you're racist and have a strong aversion to another race, you're probably going to incarnate at some point in that other race so that you can learn what that race feels like and how you treated them. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's how that cycle works. So when we're talking about karma and stuff like that, it's nothing about a punishment. It's about you learning, you learning as a soul.
Thank you, Marilyn. Appreciate it.
The Pharaoh drowned and part in the Red Sea. Yeah, Julius was asked, how can I interpret the apparent villainy of the Egyptian people in the events of the Exodus book? Thinking about the 10 plagues, Pharaoh drowned, parting the Red Sea, blah, blah, blah. And Julius, if you're looking at that, you're looking at it from an exoteric perspective, and I can tell you it has a totally different meaning from an esoteric perspective, okay? So when you're talking about Egypt, Egypt is usually a code word for the physical body, okay, in the land of Egypt. The Red Sea simply means the blood. And these ideas are about the journey of the soul in the Bible, and they're not about people. They're not historical, okay? So if you're looking at it from an exoteric perspective, it won't make sense, okay? A lot of it doesn't make sense, okay? Hotep, King and Queens, are you familiar with Orishas and Papa Legba? See, Syria, she says, or he asked, are you familiar with the Orishas such as Papa Legba? What are some of the ways to connect with and honor him when you feel like you are at a crossroad? So I don't know specifically about Yoruba and Papa Legba and the Orishas, but what I do know is that they're the same concepts as the Egyptian netters. So the African spiritual systems around the whole continent, they had a lot of commonality, but they basically used different names because even the Kemetic information came and traveled from interior Africa. So those are the reason why I'm so passionate about Kemet, is that it has the ability to take the cover off of Christianity, where people are not psychologically trapped and hamstrung by Christianity. So that's why I'm passionate about Kemetic knowledge. Let's see, if you're in disappointment. Okay, I'm just going through some of these comments here, guys. Thank you, Marilyn. Marilyn says, I love both of you guys, and the answers and explanation. Thank you very much. So much for answering. You bet, Lisa. Lisa said, thank you for answering, Voche.
My pleasure.
See if it's in the process. Yep. Let's go back. All right. Stephen Bishop says, my ex is coming back black. So I guess your ex was white then, Stephen? So you're saying she's coming back black? So she's going to get to learn what it felt like to be a black person. And that's very true. That can happen. Horoscope, but once I got saved, I cut it off. Yeah, and see, Hyperlux, I know you're a Scorpio, and Scorpios dig deep in this stuff. So it's just part of what we do. So she said that she grew up loving reading horoscopes, but once she got saved, she cut it off. And I'm telling you now, the idea of saved is even different in ancient Kemet. It has nothing to do with trying to save you from hell. Hell doesn't exist. So who wrote it? It was written and what this? Yeah, MF Dresden, you have a very good point. It says, Julius, I think it has more. He's talking about the Egyptian Red Sea and all that. He says, I think it has more to do with who wrote it, when it was written, and what was their social and political motives. So absolutely, positively. What people don't understand is that the Bible is as much a political document as it is a mythological document. I won't even say historical because it's not. Let's see. People go figure. Let's see. Thank you so much, Spore. And Explorer Infinity, you're welcome. You're most welcome. Watching from India, please introduce me to Kemetics and the deities. Explorer Infinity, you can go to my website at www.kemeticcenterliving.com and you can get introduced to a lot of that knowledge right there. Okay, so www.kemeticcenterliving.com. And again, if you wanted to check out my class, you can go to www.beyondthephysical.me. Okay, beyondthephysical.me. Okay. All right, another Scorpio in the house. Let's see, Scorpio got that strong energy. What's that, Voche?
I was asking if there's any cancers. Dang, the Scorpio's real deep in here.
Knee deep.
Love that
knee
though.
deep.
Yeah. Scorpios love digging, psychology, anything to do with the depths and the truth and knowing what's real. Scorpios want to know the real.
We want to know the real. We want it real. We don't want it filtered, nothing. Tell us what it is, and then I can deal with it from there.
No doubt, no doubt.
Let's see, and D Nice said, for me, it's almost impossible to get over the fear of hell. Hey, D Nice, I know that's real. I know that's real, and a lot of people do that. And for a long time, D Nice, that was me as well. But once you get more educated, you'll see that hell just does not even make sense. You might not be in that place right now, but get more knowledge and information, brother. Don't stay there. Don't stay in that place because you don't have to.
Say what you know about them Pisces. Pisces are a spiritual portal. Y'all got one foot in the physical, one foot in the metaphysical at all times. Direct channel. Tap into that. All right.
Right. There you go. See, Voche does those birth chart readings, so she gets it. She's the astrologist, definitely.
Yeah.
Into the importance of origins of Hinduism and Buddhism.
Cancers. Here we go. Cancers in the house. Cancers are the emotional feelers. We feel everything. We transmute. We are healers. Okay, we heal people by allowing emotions to run through us and making other people realize the healing properties and healing abilities that they have, okay, and realize their power. So shout out to the Cancers, rulers of the moon children. All
right. And Brandon says, can you get into the importance of the origin of Hinduism and Buddhism? And Brandon, I those are not things that I study. So I pride myself in giving you knowledge that is uncommon. And I don't just study stuff just to study it, okay? What I study as far as Kemetic, I get deep with it. So even a lot of stuff that I share on those videos, it's just the tip of the iceberg. And when I get into my class, now we get deep into it, into the class. But I don't study just anything or just study religions or whatever. So I can't tell you about Buddhism and Hinduism. Okay, I can say that they are connected to ancient Africa. So that's one thing I know. But as far as getting into what they know, I don't. So I haven't studied those. Okay.
Somebody said, what about the Libras? Libras create beauty. Libra is art. Libra is balance, justice for the whole, justice for all. You know, it's Libra is everyone, not self. Libra is the ruler of Venus or is ruled by Venus. They bring in art, beauty. So if you're a Libra, I'm sure you have some type of artistic ability, whether it's the art of communication or art in itself or the beauty of art. Just Libra is art. I love Libras.
Libras are they're the ones that balance. They can teeter.
Yeah.
So I see somebody says, what about Capricorn and Gemini? So I got Capricorn and Gemini asking.
Capricorn are the ambitious ones. Capricorns want to build. Capricorns want to make their bread. For those of you that don't know what bread is, they want to make money. They want to build a legacy. Capricorns ain't here just floating around. They're here with a purpose, and they work toward their purpose every day. Capricorns have some of the strongest drive, strongest determination, strongest willpower of all the zodiac, okay? Capricorn is that fathering energy. They're going to teach you lessons with tough love. They're going to teach you about yourself, and they're going to hold you to a high standard, just like they hold themselves to a high standard. And if you can't beat them, not beat them, if you can't meet them, they leave you by the wayside. So keep up.
Dang it, see, those Capricorns gonna be cold-hearted. If you can't hang, you got to go.
If you ain't bringing nothing to the table, they don't want to eat with you. Come on. Geminis are my favorite. Geminis are the curious ones, the knowledgeable ones. They always want to know more information so they can see how they can apply it and make their world better. Geminis are adventurous. Geminis are fun, lighthearted. Is in touch with their inner child. I love hanging out with Geminis. It's always a good time. It's always light. They love listening to me talk. I love Geminis.
All right, what about Taurus? So Valerie Keller is asking about Taurus.
Taurus is also, that's Venus's brother, Venus's sister. I mean, Libra's brother or sister. Taurus is also about beauty, but beauty of nature, beauty of experience. Taurus love spoiling themselves. I'm a Taurus moon, so they like baths, candles. They are ruled by the senses. They love to feel. They are very affectionate, love to receive affection in return. I vibe with Tauruses as well. Tauruses are usually the singers. Once again, the artists, because it's ruled by Venus. If you rule by Venus, you just bring beauty to whatever you do, okay? You speak beautiful. You look beautiful. Just beauty just oozes from you. Very sensual sign. I love Taurus.
All right. Nichols Cool Kid says, what about Sag? Tell us about Sag.
Sagittarius. These are the explorers of the zodiac, okay? The adventurers, the expansive ones. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. They always want to know more, be more, do more. Sagittarius is also the partiers of the zodiac, okay? Sagittarius know how to have a good time. They know how to turn up. They may take it a little bit too far sometimes, but they got a good experience from it. So at the end of the day, it was valid, okay?
Right. The Sagittarius can be those straight shooters, boy. They can stick
so.
you.
The truth. Sagittarius is all about the truth. They don't care who feel the truth, who don't. They gonna speak theirs, okay? So you gonna hear what they gotta say, like it or not. Sagittarius don't sugarcoat nothing either.
Right. Let's see. And David McClurkin says he's in the class, and the class is awesome. Thank you, David. I really appreciate that. Let's see. And you say, Stephen says, my wife is a Capricorn, and you just described my wife. Mm-hmm. And let's see. Read My Aunt says, what about Aries? She's in my class too. So
Aries, that's fire, but that's lightning. So if it's 3 fire signs, Aries is the lightning. That's the creator. Aries is very strong-minded. Aries go for what they want. They are not afraid. They are brave. They're the type of sign that'll get a licking and keep on ticking. So Aries is very strong-minded, very opinionated, very creative, very health conscious, self-conscious, and wants to be their best selves. Can be confrontational, but from the perspective of an inner child. Like it's just pure expressive energy. They say what they feel, they mean what they say, and they just move around, just making people feel things. You know, they're creators, okay, in the purest sense of the form.
Right. Yeah, the last woman I dated was an Aries. Woo-wee. Man, I'll just leave that right there. But anyway, let's see. And Kara B says, what about the Virgo? Oh, my Lord, Virgo.
Virgo, the practical perfectionist. The health conscious one. Virgos want to do great at everything. They are introverted, but not from the perspective of being shy. They're just very observant. They're always collecting information, and seeing how they need to move. Virgos are very helpful. They want to help. They want to be of service. So if you're dating a Virgo, they're going to make you the best you can be, because they want to help you, and they analyze what you need so that they can help you to the best of their abilities. Virgos are very organized, very logical. They get things done, and they hold themselves to a high standard as well. That's that earth sign. Earth is very practical, enjoys security, and just wants to make the best out of their everyday life. So that's Virgo.
All right, Virgo. Virgo can be very self-critical too. Very self-critical.
Yeah. Anxiety, yeah, very prone to anxiety due to, you know, wanting to create perfection and thinking too far ahead, planning too far ahead. Virgo's challenge is to stay in the present, okay, and not try to plan too much for the future.
Yeah, yeah. Valerie Kelly, thank you for that $10 donation. Definitely appreciate it.
Valerie.
And Brooklyn Mocha says, what about Aquarius? That air sign.
Aquarius, definitely air. Aquarius is the visionary, the unique one, the awakener of the zodiac. Aquarius is the outside of the box, march to the beat of their own drum. You can
Aquarius will have like blue hair, green hair, all the newest light hairstyles.
Yeah, they the unique ones. And if you try to control an Aquarius, they will ghost you with the utmost quickness.
They'll slip through your fingers.
Yes, that's that air for you. Aries is the ghost professional.
Absolutely. Turco Takumbo Beats. What's up? What's up? Every single signs are awesome. Moon and sun and life chart makes it for all to have good varieties in them. Yeah, every single sign is awesome. So I agree with that. So that was Reva Tiare. So every single sign definitely is awesome. So these people who try to paint one sign bad or another, no.
Right.
Everybody has their gifts that they came here with to navigate their life.
There's a high vibration of every sign and there's a low vibration of every sign. So you can express the highest qualities of your sign, or you can express the shadow qualities of that sign. It all depends on you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
So yeah. So I said the Hinduism, I said peace and happiness. So I appreciate your teachings necessary. Brother Larry, I appreciate that. Brother Larry says peace and happiness and love, Brother Reginald. We appreciate your teachings and sincerity. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's see. And Martha, I guess maybe this is coming a little bit late, but she was just talking about Aquarius. Yeah. So she just mentioned Aquarius. Yeah. And Brooklyn Mocha says you described me. So she was the Aquarius.
Yes. And I love how Ritva Tiare also mentioned that we have more than one sign. So everyone always focuses on their sun sign. But we have a moon sign, we have a rising sign, we got a Venus, a Jupiter, a Mercury, which is how we communicate. Venus is how we love. Moon is our emotions, our natural instincts, our default. So, and then I do birth chart reading. So all of this is described in your birth chart. A birth chart is your blueprint for life. It's your game plan that you decided on when you came into this earth. And I read those and I tell you all, I give you an individual practical application to your highest good, to your highest truth, toward your purpose, toward what I let you know. Well, I can read and let you know what all your talents are, your gifts, the relationships you attract, and let you know how to not attract those relationships anymore if it's not ideal. So your birth chart is your life plan, the energies that you are here to learn and express in this life. And we are not just one sign. We have, how many planets is it? I don't have me lie, 11 planets. We have a sign for each planet and each energy in that planet. And know thyself is to know God. So know the God within us all. So
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So information says you guys are beautiful, loving the vibes here. Thank you, information. Definitely appreciate that. Information. I had to quote information on one of my videos here last week, boy, because people was talking about. I posted this deal about women, about religion and spirituality. And people was like, oh my God, they just about lost their mind. But information, boy, she set them down. I dropped the mic, bam. Man. So yeah.
Okay, so I just posted my link for anyone who is interested in a birth chart reading, a tarot reading. I also do synastry charts. So if you want to compare your birth chart and your soulmate or your perceived soulmate or somebody you're interested in birth chart to see how y'all energies interline and interact and what role they're going to play in your life, I also do synastry charts. So, we got all the spiritual modalities over here. Your one-stop spiritual shop at Kemetic Centered Living.
There you go. Know thyself. You will know yourself. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Amber says she's Leo sun rising, Sagittarius moon.
Leo rising, whoop whoop. So am I.
All right, so I'm a Cancer rising. Cancer rising.
And for those that don't know, your rising sign is the perspective that you see life through. The sign that you carry your life through is what people see first when they meet you. It's your first impression. Okay, so when people see me first, they get Leo energy, which is very creative, very vibrant, very generous, very warm. Okay, so your rising sign is your mask.
All right, all right. So let's see. Explorer of Infinity says, what is the description of God in Kemetics? And so from the ancient African perspective, the idea of God is unknowable. So we can't know, excuse me, we cannot know what God is from our perspective. It's impossible. So this idea of a human-like God that we get from Christianity, the ancient Africans would say that is a childlike way of thinking. Okay, because even the word Amen, the word that Christians that we ended our prayers with, that word came from ancient Kemet, and the actual meaning of Amen is the hidden, meaning the unknown. So God is, and that's where I know in the Jewish tradition they say the name of God is unspeakable. Okay, meaning that you can't, and that comes from the ancient African traditions where words actually had vibrational meanings or tone. So when you're actually using the words, you're actually activating certain brain synapses. So you can literally use Amen in a chat, like not a chat, I'm sorry, a chant, like a Amen. You can literally use that in a chant, and it activates certain synapses in the brain. It'll activate certain levels of your chakras. But the actual idea of God in the Kemetic tradition is that it is unknowable. You can only know it through what it produces as netters, and netters are nature. Okay, so man, the earth, trees, rocks, that's all nature, netters. Okay, so that's their idea of God. Okay, let's see. Thank you for that link. Okay, and let's see. Got to get that birth chart. See, Marilyn says, got to get that birth chart reading. Yeah, Marilyn, got to do it. A lot of people in the classes have gotten it, Marilyn, and they have really loved it. It's really helped them a lot. See. Maya says Scorpio rising for me.
Yeah. So when they see that Scorpio, that's that intensity, that's power. People feel your power off rip. Okay. Scorpio risings have that intense gaze that let people know, I see through you. Do not try to BS me. I know the real you. Okay.
Right. Yep. Very empathic.
Very. Libra risings are the envy of the zodiac, because that just makes you beautiful, like physically beautiful. You just radiate beauty. You have a very symmetrical face, all that. Yes, love the Libra risings.
And information says that Amen sounded like the Om chat. And yes, what people don't know is that our letters and the sounds of our letters, the vowels, how you decide what's a vowel and then what's a consonant. Vowels, you can say a vowel and you can say that you can use the vowel for, a length of time, like a, but a, and your mouth stays open, okay? And you can chant that letter. The consonants cut off the, excuse me, consonants cut the sound off. So I cut it off when I closed my mouth and said because that's the oscillation between vowels and consonants. So yeah, when you have those words like that, you can literally say the vowels, and each vowel actually can activate a particular chakra. A lot of people don't know that. Okay.
Martha asked, do you print out the birth chart? I do all my birth chart readings via Zoom, and the Zoom sessions are recorded, and you'll have the audio and the video to refer back to whenever you see fit. So
there you
if
go.
requested, I can send you a picture of your birth chart, but it'll be on the screen during the reading. So
All right. And let's see, Valerie Kelly says, can you speak on vibrations? Okay, Valerie, that's a good question. So vibration is everything, the way ancient principle, that means that sound organize it and forms. I hope I'm not getting cut out because I'm having my internet connections kind of messing up a little bit. But you are a vibrational being, and that means that you exist in a world of vibration. And the whole idea is that when you on the opposites there's the vibration of love and the vibration of fear. Okay, and those are the two opposites. When you're operating in fear, you're literally operating disconnected, not disconnected, but you're blocking the energy of your soul. When you're operating in love, and I'm just using those two words as two extremes, but there's different words that we use in between. Okay, so like anxiety could be like a mild fear. Okay, ecstasy can be like a strong love. So love feels good, fear feels bad or negative. So love is good, fear is bad. And you're trying to assimilate those vibrations, okay? So, and Valerie, I know you have access to my course. You can look that up. So I talk about that in the course, in the unit on Ra. So you can definitely get some teaching on that. Let's see. Sounds of nature. Change your energy and then your matter. Okay, and let's see. Send the arm from your throat towards the third eye. Nichols Cool says, they said when you chant, send the om from your throat towards your third eye. Yeah, and there's different ways that you can approach it. So definitely different ways that you can approach it. Let's see. Yeah, I teach the sun gazing in my class, Redvatiari. So definitely, I recommend sun gazing as well. That's something that I practice. Let's see. Oh, this thing jumped real fast. Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to find your questions here, guys. Yeah. I was born on Halloween. Is that significant? Well, the date might be significant, D Nice, but as far as Halloween, you got to understand that's like a very recent holiday. So it's something somebody made up. Mm-hmm. So the date and the energy is significant, but otherwise, it being a holiday, holidays are chosen arbitrarily and have been throughout history. And Voche, if you got something to add here, go right ahead.
I was just going to say that the energy created around that holiday may affect you and your outlook on the world, because although Halloween is a man-made holiday, it's a product of creation, and Halloween is centered around fear and scariness, but also candy and nice things like that. So it just depends on your perspective of it and how you feel like it affects you.
Yep, absolutely. And David Witter says that ancient Kemet viewed various deities as gods or personified netters. So the idea of gods came from Egyptologists that did not understand the Kemetic spiritual system. But rather than even calling them gods, they are aspects of or functions of nature. Okay, so that's what netters are. So they're literally functions of nature, and the way that they look at it is that everything that we can be aware of is natural. Everything, including us. So we are the most evolved aspect of nature is the way that the ancient Egyptians and Cometians looked at it. So everything that is possible within the universe, we are the seed of that possibility. Okay, as soul encompassed in flesh. So that soul is the seed of any possibility that can be in the universe, and that's the way that they look at that. See, I'm just looking at questions here, guys. That's off from communicating. Nichols, language is language. So when we learn English, you can learn to do the same type things with English. But going back to the African tongues, a lot of times they were vibrational languages. So they didn't just speak words and have concepts that were just like disconnected from nature. So they connected everything. Let's see. Okay, and I froze for a sec. Okay, yeah, my internet connection was messing up there for a little bit. Yes, vibration makes a change. Let's throw some light. Let's see. Let's see this.
Stephen Bishop, you said Halloween is also remembering our ancestors and the people that were before us. I love that perspective as well. And I feel like in Mexican heritage, they have the Day of the Dead, and Halloween isn't a scary holiday. It's a day to give thanks and connect to your ancestors and your passed on loved ones. So I definitely agree with that 100%.
Let's see, and Ravita, I'm trying to say the name, Tiare says, this is the best chat I've ever been in. It's real knowledge. Thank you for that. Really appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
And Explorer of Infinity says, please throw some light on the Ankh. Man, that could be a whole class by itself, Explorer of Infinity. But basically the Ankh is masculine and feminine coupled together. And masculine and feminine, and this is just one level of explaining this idea, because it can, depending on the perspective, and this is with any of the African symbols and their symbolism, there's multiple levels that a person can look at these symbols from, depending on your level of knowledge. So you can interpret things different ways. But anytime you see in ancient symbolism, a circle usually is feminine, okay? In ancient symbolism, straight lines are usually masculine or represent the phallus, okay? So the Ankh has the circle on top of it and then the phallus at the bottom, okay? And basically what that means is that the phallus punched through the womb and came into creation, okay? So that's one level, but it means anything that is life or has come to life. And the ancient Africans didn't look at life as like we do. We have a very limited idea. So for them, anything that is conscious has life. Whether it's an animal, a rock, anything that we can experience in our world is conscious, okay, and is alive. So that's the way that they looked at life. So everything is life. Let's see, what are nagas? I've heard that term before, Riva Tiare, but I don't remember what it's about right offhand. I also heard another person use to heal, please. Can a person, so Lionel Matt 6, can a person use voodoo powers to hurt another person? And Voche, and you can speak to this too. But when you're talking about these ideas that they're casting spells and stuff like that, you have to have a belief system that somebody has more power over you than you do. Mm-hmm. That's the only way that these systems that you can think that you can be harmed or a spell can affect you. Mm-hmm. That you believe that a person can cast a spell and they have more power than you. Mm-hmm. And that's just not true, ever. Mm-hmm. Not true ever. So even if you have negative energy around you, you can say negative energy be gone. Like Voche was saying earlier, you can rebuke that energy and it can be gone. You have the power. You have an energetic how can I say? I don't want to say a fortress, because a fortress keeps stuff in
Domain, your
or out.
energetic domain, your energetic body, your
Yes.
aura, your temple, your orb, all that is you. You can protect it. You're not a victim.
Never,
Yes.
never. You can protect it. You can expel people from it. So anything. So there's all of that negative powerlessness and victimized ideas. That's not you. You are a god or goddess, and in your creation, you are all powerful. Mm-hmm. Bottom line. And so nobody can cast a spell on you, and it's more powerful than you are ever.
Most definitely.
Let's see.
Yes, Crystal B. She said your voice is your wand. Most definitely. And you know, the term casting a spell or using a spell, your words are your power. The vibration of your words is your power. Okay. And you command your power. I love that, Crystal. I like how you said that.
Yeah. Yeah. So Lee Collins asked, are there some Kemetic books that you can recommend? I don't know if there's no such thing as a Kemetic book that I know of. So there you can look for books on Egyptian stuff, but a lot of them, they still don't even understand these ideas. So what I bring to you a lot of times, I read a lot of books, but I have to sift through that information and then connect the dots. One book might have something here, another book might have something here, but then you have to know some other stuff. Really, you have to really understand metaphysics, or else you can't connect the dots. And if you don't understand the metaphysics and the functions, you can't connect the dots back to Christianity. Okay, so there's no one book that does what I do. So I can't. It's hard for me to tell people, okay, I'll recommend this book to you, recommend that book to you. In my videos, I use a lot of books and I reference them for you, and you can use those and read them. But you're not going to get the same stuff that I get from those books. Okay, so this just my level of knowledge and things that have interested me over the years. Let's see. And information says, would you say that not being connected to the masculine or feminine principles can lead to anxiety and depression? That's an excellent question. I love that question. And understand that masculine and feminine can be overactive, okay? And usually how an overactive feminine aspect does is that's what results in depression. And when I say overactive, you're really overactively focused on the negative from within. And that's how an overactive feminine can express itself, is through depression, okay? An overactive masculine is somebody that can be like violent, somebody that can be, because violence is really an explosion, you know, of energy that's been pent up for a long time. So it might your feminine might be active where you're like imagining all of this stuff in your head, and then all of a sudden it's got to be released and it explodes violently. Okay, that's an overactive masculine. So that's how those two would be represented in life in some ways. Okay.
Nichols Cool Kid said, to me, if you're trying to do harm to something, you're vibrating low, which means you're opening yourself up to entities on that level. 100%. And you cannot wish harm on another without wishing harm on yourself. What you put out is what you will receive. So
absolutely. Absolutely. That's the prime law of the universe. Mm-hmm. What you put out is what you get back. Mm-hmm. That's vibrationally and everything. So
most definitely.
Let's see. And let's see, this is balance to strive. Yeah, it's you strive to achieve balance, and that's what the idea of Ma'at is about. Is that you become a balanced individual. So yeah. Are the Christian cross and the Ankh related? Yes. And a lot of people think the Christian cross means death, but what they don't understand is that the idea of Christianity, what they've taught about the cross, has nothing to do with Jesus dying on the cross. It had the New Testament and Jesus is really about the journey of the soul and what a soul has to do to incarnate on earth. The cross is no more than the elements of air, earth, water, and fire. Okay, that those four elements are what's needed for a soul to incarnate on earth. That's why Jesus died on the cross. And the idea to the ancient Africans were that when a soul descended into matter, okay, and came into a body, that it literally lost its multidimensional awareness, and it lost and forgot who it was. That to them was death. Okay, so the dying on the cross simply means that a soul has incarnated into the physical, and they no longer have that unlimited awareness, multidimensional awareness that they had when they were a soul. Now you have to work back up to that. That's what your journey is about here on Earth. Yes, the elements. So that's what that's about. Be a dark child in the spirit realm. So Crystal B asked, what does it mean to be a dark child in the spirit realm? Now, I don't know. I can guess what that means, but these are symbols that people, ideas that people have put forth. So I'd have to know specifically what, I guess, what system that you're talking about, or that you've heard that from. So I don't know, I wouldn't know necessarily specifically. I can guess that a dark child means something negative, usually, but what that means specifically, I hadn't heard
of. Crystal, just same as my dad, I'm not sure in what context you mean, but in spirituality, there are soldiers of the darkness, so to speak, and soldiers of the light, or light workers and shadow workers. Both are necessary parts of the whole. Yes. And maybe a dark child. I don't agree with calling children dark, or based on perception, but you can be a shadow worker, or someone who is here to spread darkness. You can be someone who is here to spread light. You can be someone who's here in between, figuring it out. So
yeah. And they're two opposites of a whole.
Yeah.
That's it, plain and simple. So dark and light are just on they're on the spectrum. It's one thing. They're just on a spectrum of opposites. That's all. Exactly. And we can operate, we can operate through fear about a lot of this knowledge, but it's just understanding that you always have a light side and a shadow side. Choose which one that you choose to live your life from, okay?
And neither are bad. All are necessary parts of the experience. So objective reasoning as well.
Yes, absolutely. And Lisa says, do you teach how to level out masculine and feminine in class? I'm very anxious and have issues with depression. And Lisa, I go a little bit deeper than that, because I'm teaching you in that first unit. You really have to get a hold of that first unit in the class, because it is the foundation of everything that you're going to learn. That first unit will be a unit of empowerment for you like never before. So if you didn't quite grasp it, then I please go back to it, and I want you to go back and ask questions about it, okay? And we actually talk about it in the forum too. So when you grasp that first unit, I'm telling you, you're gonna know what you can do about your depression, okay? Let's see. People. Let's say Sport says, who brought a talk Kemetic to ancient people like a prophet or unknown? No, it's probably thousands of years of experience, of their spiritual experience that they basically put out. And a lot of it was oral, in the oral tradition. And the Greeks actually broke that tradition when they put that information in the Bible. Okay, they wrote it down, and a lot of that information was never supposed to be written down. But when they wrote it down, they put it in secret. They used secret encoded language. So they used esoteric language. But we've been taught it as if it's history. When you learn it as like it's history, it destroys the esotericism, esoteric knowledge within those teachings. And Crystal says she heard the term of dark child for someone. Yeah, I can bet. A lot of people come up with a lot of scary stuff. So yeah, let's see. And Brandon was asking to explain the allegory of the wise man. So I've never heard it related to the pineal and hypothalamus and pituitary. So that might be something that maybe you studied that, and but that's not something I've studied. Let's see, that's wrong. So a lot of stuff, there's such a broad range of stuff that you can know. I don't know it all, you know. So my stuff is usually connecting the dots because Christianity was had such an impact in my life that I study it to basically take the veil off of Christianity, and that's what I share with people. So if it's not connected to that in a way, then it's not necessarily something I'm going to know. So Tonia, the class is African Mind Rewire, and it's at www. So you can find out more about it at www.beyondthephysical.me. Okay, and right now I'm running a special that if you get the class, if you enroll in the class, then you'll get 2 of my courses that you can also study as well while you're taking the class. Yes, very true. Light comes from darkness. Stan Jones says that. Absolutely. Darkness was first. That was the feminine aspect. Darkness was first. Okay. And Takuno Beats, hey, I appreciate it. Come on in, brother. Come on in. So he says, I'll be joining your class. So come on in. Go ahead, Voche. Explain that. Yes, God is in duality. We experience extremes in 3rd dimension. So go ahead and explain that.
Well, in spirituality, we, as human forms, we experience the 3rd dimension, the 4th dimension, and the 5th dimension. In the 3rd dimension, we experience the polarity to the most extreme. So you have lightness on one end of the spectrum and darkness on the other end of the spectrum, and then everything in between. And that is why we experience evil or extreme joy. And when you raise your level of consciousness to understand that we are God, our well-being is guaranteed, that is when your mentality, your consciousness rises to the 4th dimension, and you experience less of the extremes. You experience less of the lows and the highs, because life is a constant ebb and flow, right? But when you raise your awareness and you raise your consciousness, the ebbs aren't as dark, because we know as God that it's all part of the experience, and the change is the only guarantee, the only constant, and things are going to change. And when you surrender to change and surrender to the flow, we see everything as God, and no light, no darkness. Well, not no light or no darkness, but the polarity shrinks as we rise and realize our true nature and our true self. And that is where society is heading. More as we raise our consciousness as a people, we are moving more into the 4th dimension of love and the understanding that we are God and we control our reality, we create our reality. And that it shrinks the polarity a little bit. Dad, can you add to that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like how you said that. It shrinks the polarity. Mm-hmm. So in other words, you don't experience the extremes as much. Mm-hmm. So it shrinks that. So I like the way you put that. That's very good.
Right.
Very good. So Amber says, you have explained this in the 1st unit, but can you explain chakras and the Kemetic perspective from the universal strategies, maintain balance and remove block? Yeah, and that's actually, Amber, I get into that into the 2nd unit. What you'll notice is that I build things on top in the class. So I start you out from a foundation that you have to get and you have to understand. And then in the 2nd unit, which is the 2nd month, I get into the chakras. So those 2 things, understanding those 2 at a more advanced level for you is going to be like amazing. So I get into that, but the chakras from the Kemetic perspective they're basically the 7 energy centers or vortexes that spirit basically manifests itself through, okay, and into the physical. And those energy vortexes literally filter the energy. And especially in the African diaspora, what we don't recognize a lot of times is that we're stuck in our root chakra dealing with the things that happen to us as children, and through our dealing with the systematic racism and oppression. We deal with things and we're stuck in that a lot of times. Okay, so in class you learn what that energy is and what you can do for yourself. So I empower you through your knowledge on what you can do to unblock those things. Okay. What keeps people under? Okay. And Richard Archie. Richard, I believe, Richard, aren't you in the class as well? I believe so. My brother Richard, thank you. So I know that name. I know Archie's in there. So I get to know people's names. Forces to keep us from knowing or cultivating the potential to become godly in nature. So Darren says, how can we combat forces that keep us from knowing or cultivating our potential to become godly in nature? Brother, you just got to know that you are powerful in your world. So there's no forces. That's one of the things that in our experience, our human experience here on Earth, is that you have to understand that part of your journey is to learn your power. Part of your journey is to move beyond fear. Part of your journey is to recognize that you are not a victim, ever. So all the things that happen for a reason. And I like how somebody put it once, that it's like in an athletic event, in a basketball game. Thank you, Julie. Julie gave $19.99. Thank you very much. In a basketball game, you have your opponent, and usually the better the opponent, the more you rise to the occasion, unless you're afraid. Okay, then you shrink. But say people might know this guy like Kevin Durant, one of the best basketball players in the world. LeBron James. When those two guys face each other, they usually bring out the best in each other. Mm-hmm. And that's what life is supposed to do. When you run up against hardships, those hardships are there to teach you something. Those hardships are there to make you rise and overcome. So no matter what you're dealing with as a soul, you learn through opposites. So when you have the things that you think that are coming against you, then you're supposed to go, oh, wait a minute, something's happening here. What can I do differently? Mm-hmm. That's how you deal with that, okay? So there's nobody more powerful than you that can stop you from learning anything. Only you can stop you from doing that, because you've decided somebody else has more power. Okay? Just to relate that to Sagittarius, Sagittarius is a sign that thrives in adversity, and they love challenges and the thrill of overcoming them, because they know that on the other end, they'll become more powerful, more knowledgeable, moreness, and they understand that adversity leads to expansion. So it's all about your perspective on it. Absolutely. Pressure, what's that saying? Pressure either makes diamonds or busts pipes. It's, there you go. However you want to go about it. Yep. Pressure can make water run uphill. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. And Marilyn, yeah, definitely go back to that first unit. If you didn't grasp that first unit, guys, I'm telling you, you have got to. You got to. That first unit is so powerful. It's going to change your life, literally, when you grasp that first unit. You cannot go through that first unit and remain the same individual before you came to that class. It's impossible when you grasp it. I guarantee you. Lionel Messi was asking about positive people like combating negativity, or he was saying, why is it that someone who's negative wants to kill someone that is positive? And you said that they're whole. When we fight every day to try to overcome these people, fighting anything is feeding that energy.
So to transmute darkness, you have to be light. You have to be love. You can't fight something with the same thing that it is. You're only feeding that force. And when you are someone who is light, you are a threat to people who walk in the shadow or walk in the darkness, because you are everything that they are not. You are their counter force. You are a threat to them. So if you are someone, you may realize, like, if you're a loving person, you may meet people who just don't like you for no reason. You don't even have to do anything but be yourself to tick them off. That is because you are a threat to everything that they represent. And the kill them with kindness, that is literally true, you know? So don't fight it. Just be you, be light, and that'll transmute the darkness.
Ooh, this girl got chills coming over me now on that.
Yeah, I learned from the best. I appreciate it.
That's my daughter right there. That's my daughter right there. She hit that on the head.
Thanks, Daddy.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're coming up on an hour and a half. And let's see. Yeah, right, Deborah Rose. Go deeper in love, for real. For real. Because that's really, love is what's going to heal. Yep. And it's not love for everybody else. Because one of the worst ideas that people get from the Bible is this idea of the scripture, love thy neighbor as thyself. Mm-hmm. And people live it backwards, because if you read the scripture, it says, love thy neighbor as thyself. Love has to come from you first. You have to love you first. And then you can extend that to other people. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, when you operate from that perspective, there's a whole lot of stuff, lot of the crap that we deal with is going to melt away. Mm-hmm. You got to love you first. And once you can love you, then you can extend that. So it should read, love thyself, and then you can love your neighbor. Mm-hmm. That's how it should read. So definitely, I agree with that, Deborah Rose. Love yourself. Love is how you go deeper. Mm-hmm. Let's see, and Explorer of Infinity says, can we connect with ancestors and gain the ancient lost knowledge? Absolutely, positively, yes. Absolutely, positively. There is literally, well, I won't say literally, there is a universal housing of records in a way that you can connect with. Some people call it the Akashic records, but you can connect with the Akashic records and gain all kinds of information. Yeah, I agree. Nichols said that interpretation of the Bible effed us up. Yes, it did. It effed up the world, is what it did. But there's more and more people working through it. That's for sure. Let's see. All right, guys. It's going to be about 3 minutes here, and it'll be an hour and a half. So we're probably going to end up ending it here, unless you got some other burning questions. But I definitely appreciate everybody that's been here today. My beautiful daughter, thank you. I appreciate you being here today and sharing your wisdom. Thank you very much.
Daddy, I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure. You guys have brought some amazing questions, great vibes. Love the energy that you guys brought, and hope to see y'all next time.
Yeah. I love this. I love these questions and us being able to interact like this. This is so amazing. I really do. Rose Quartz, what's up? What's up? Let's see. All right, Ann is in the class. What's up, Ann? How you doing? She's all the way from Kenya. Hey, girl.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, you bet, Crystal Beast. Crystal Beast says, I appreciate the information you're sharing. So both of you.
Love you all. Kathleen. Hey, Kathleen. Oh, I love you. Hey, Kathleen. Oh, Kathleen is a gem. We just, anytime we interact, it's always positive, uplifting, just overwhelming joy. I love Kathleen. Hey.
Yeah, Catherine's in the class as well. So, yes. All right. I love having my family here with me.
Most definitely.
Most definitely. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you again, everybody. I appreciate you.
Love you all. Thank you for being here.
Yes. Y'all have a great one, okay? All right.